Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and back on the Burton slash Schumacher franchise. Because we're reviewing the first two Batman films directed by Tim Burton, which I love and enjoy. And now we're getting to the third entry in the series, Batman Forever, released in the summer of 1995, directed by Joel Schumacher, which about right off the bat for Batman Forever, that which I said in my previous reviews that Tim Burton wanted to direct would have liked to direct the third one, which I would have liked to have seen. Michael Keaton come back as Batman, but since due to let me quickly hold this out for Batman Returns. Parents complained about the film, for being too dark and too violent and some of the sexual things in the film. Parents complained about it, especially also for the promoting for McDonald's and stuff. Parents complained about it and saying for all those reasons, especially for being too dark. And basically the parents won, and Warner Brothers wanted to change it up now. So, but Tim Burton wanted to come back to direct another one, and like I said, Michael Keaton come back as well, which I wanted to have seen. But they got Joel Schumacher instead, and basically told that they wanted to change. They changed it up, so now they got rid of all the dark tone, and now for the look of the film, it's now a much more lighter, even say much more brightly colored, and although I still say it looks like a decent comic book movie still. Or as I say, the brightly color like neon. That's what's the more technical term with all the bright colors, neon. So yeah, they wanted and so they basically all due to the parents complaining about the second film, they changed everything and went more of the lighter route, make it much more bright, and for some kids to see. And so they got, even though there was a lot, and for Batman, Bruce Wayne, there was some other additions to play Batman, but ultimately they got Val Kilmer to play. And the villains, you got Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, which of course is another thing that Billy D. Williams wanted to save Billy D. Williams from the first Batman film and wanted to come back, to play as Two-Face. But since the Warner Bros. Had bought out his contract, so they decided to get Tommy Lee Jones instead. And what's the other with Michael Keaton is that he met with Joel Schumacher, but he didn't like the direction he went. So him and Tim Burton they just left. And which I don't blame him, because I would have liked to, like I said, I would like to see a third Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman film, but they didn't like the direction that Joel Schumacher went, because it's probably the more campy and goofier, basically, which there is a lot of goofy moments in getting to the fourth one, that's way more goofier and over the top stuff, which I'll get into. So yeah, that's basically it. But they bought out the Billy D. Williams contract, and Tommy Lee Jones was cast as Harvey Dent instead. And so you got Jim Carrey playing the Riddler, and which I would have liked to have seen, which originally that Robin Williams wanted to play the Riddler, because for what I said my review for Batman Returns, I would like to have seen Robin Williams play the Riddler. Because if Tim Burton would have directed and put the Riddler in a much more dark tone. Now, if you remember, the Robin Williams, he can play dark characters at points. If you look at some of his films like Insomnia, which was a Christopher Nolan film. Um, there was another one. I forget that there was another one, but there was another one called 1 Hour Photo. You can see if you look at those two films. I know there was another film that I forgot though, but you can see Robin Williams playing a kind of a darker character as well, especially if you play a darker Riddler. I would like to have seen that. You know, Robin Williams may rest in peace, but they got Jim Carrey to play the Riddler. And I would say that I thought he did was pretty good. I thought it was fun to watch. Chris O'Donnell as Robin, and Nicole Kidman in the film. And now it's definitely a step down from it's definitely a step down from the first two films. I'll definitely say that. And although I thought it has much more bigger budget, and the budget I would say was used well. If you look at the film, you can tell the budget was used well. Production values, you can say, the design, look. So I can say that it looks good for a big budget film, and it still does look like a comic book film. Even though there was a point with Robin for casting that Marlon Wayans was gonna be in the role, but things didn't with basically the same thing with Billy Dee Williams, because they said they want Marlon Wayans to be in a Tim Burton film because they wanted Robin to be in a Tim Burton film, but they said that I was fine, which I think that it didn't fit to put Robin in a dark Tim Burton Batman film, which I'm glad they did. Wish they didn't, because I like this, because Batman by himself, Michael Keaton, and which I was fine with, because they say we've been kind of off to put Robin in a dark Tim Burton film. So, and overall, I do like the movie. Now, I do remember this growing up back in the summer 1995, because I remember growing up in there was one particular superhero movie you can say, and that was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Of course, back when growing up, I was into the Power Rangers, and the movie I was excited for growing up as a kid, and I was excited for that movie, and I remember having a lot of fun with that. And I do remember Batman Forever, because at the time, because the film was making a lot of money. It had at the time had the biggest opening weekend. Overall total, it made like over 300 million worldwide, and domestically made over 150 million domestically, and it was a big hit during the summer, and it made more than Batman Returns. Although the reviews it got, it was mixed stuff, which has on IMDb and on Rotten Tomatoes, it's way down. It's a big step down from the previous two first films had. This one on IMDb has a 5.4, and Rotten Tomatoes is like a 41%. So you can tell, because the first two films got a lot of great reviews, and plus for the mostly for Tim Burton's direction, but since it got a complete change in tone and everything for this, of course it's going to be a step down, because it make it look much more, a much bigger, lighter tone and dialogue and acting and stuff, and especially if you look at the acting with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. With Jim Carrey, I thought he was fun to watch, because he's being over the top, because I thought it was fun to watch, because growing up with this one as a kid, I always remember watching, which I had a good time watching. I will say that in retrospect for me, because I grew up with the film, and even though as you get older you got more wiser to it, and I could definitely see why. But yeah, Jim Carrey he was fun, even though he was being over the top though. But I had fun seeing him. Tommy Lee Jones now It's no. This I would say probably say it's the one time you can see Tommy Lee Jones being over the top, goofy, and all that because Tommy Lee Jones he's a serious actor and I love Tommy Lee Jones as an actor. He's one of my favorite actors and seeing him like for this one probably for this one film being so over the top, crazy and going like out of sync with all the roles that he's been into, you can definitely see it, and he's like, and no, because he always does like the screams and stuff like that, and it was a different it's a different take, and you can tell like if you look at Batman and Robin and all the acting from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and definitely see we can understand why, especially under Joel Schumacher's direction. But getting with all that aside, into the plot, it opens up with Tommy Lee Jones, as Two-Face, and with the opening of him flipping his coin, and he's talking with this he has hostage, this security guard. Now, the guy who plays the security guard, he was a horrible actor. He's just like, if he's tied up when he gets into the vault when Batman tries to save him because it's a trap and they're both trapped in this vault and it's filling up with acid, and the guy is like, oh no, it's boiling acid. Oh, my shoes are melting. Just this guy's tone is like he's doing like Jim Carrey's performance is over the top, but this guy was like way over, and that was not good. This guy here playing this security guard, not good at all. Or even some of the dialogues, like you can tell that the tone. Even some of the dialogue, was even a dark tone for the first two films, and some of the dialogue is much more lighter. Like the first line when Batman gets for Batmobile, and Alfred, once again played by Michael Gough. One of the good things I liked about Michael Gough and Pat Hingle when they come back as Commissioner Gordon and Alfred. And Alfred says to Batman, it's like, would you like to have a sandwich on the way? And Batman says, I'll go through the drive-through. You see, that's the different change in dialogue compared to the dialogue in this film, darker dialogue, but now it's much more the lighter tone now. Yeah, it would have been so out of place if Michael Keaton as Batman would have said that. So he goes. So that's why. So Batman. Now there's some decent edited fights. We find Two-Face's henchmen. And of course, get to that horrible guy in the safe, but he hoists up on the helicopter, and then he cuts the chain and makes the grappling hook to make the vault go back into the building. Tommy Lee Jones being silly, acting silly with his performance as Harvey Dent. And then leads to this helicopter. His helicopter crashes into the Statue of Liberty. He gets away. Then introduced to Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma, where he works for Wayne Enterprises, and he shows him his invention, and we're dealing with brainwaves, and Bruce Wayne he rejects him. He's like, it raises too many questions. And he takes that personally, and he gets angry. And like one night, where one of the guys that works for Bruce Wayne, played by Ed Bailey Jr. really enough, and I've seen this guy before. He's been in a few films, and he gets knocked out by Jim Carrey, tied down, and he gets the mind thing strapped to him. To make it the brainwaves of his transfer into Jim Carrey's to make him smarter and stuff. So then he pushes the guy out off the window, try and make it look like a suicide. And then he starts sending Bruce Wayne his riddles. And then we're dealing with Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian, which she's obsessed with Batman. and like as he talks with her at the beginning because she's also the psychologist, with the mind, dealing with the mind stuff, and like she talks with him at the beginning of the film before getting to with Two-Face, and then she sends a false signal, a false alarm basically. She sends the bat signal and makes her come to her, and basically she just wants to seduce him basically, and like she has like most of her clothes off basically for him. I just found that laughable, because I like Nicole Kidman, and so the films that she's done, like one recently I did with Deadcom. But I like Nicole Kidman as an actress, and just like she's like trying to seduce Batman, and it's like makes me laugh. So then there was a point where that goes to at least this circus where you get introduced to Chris O'Donnell as Robin. With his family, they're acrobats. The family's wearing like the old Robin costume, which I was a nice touch. Wearing like the old Robin costume, and then Two-Face comes in as his bomb, and says, "Who's if the guy who's Batman here plays represent himself, and Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne. He says, I'm Batman though, but there's since all the whole audience is in a panic, nobody hears when he says that he's Batman. Of course, nobody hears that. But then his Robin's family, they try to help get rid of the bomb, and Chris O'Donnell does get rid of the bomb, but Two-Face, he shoots down the rest of his family, and I thought it was a good looking good shot how they're all falling down slow mo, and it shows when they hit the ground, but you don't see them actually hit the ground, so it's like a cutaway though. But you get the indication as they're falling down slowly, they do fall to their deaths. And Chris O'Donnell in this film, I do like him in this film. I liked his reaction that with his when he sees his family is dead. I do like that. So the whole with his family was well shot, and I bought that that his reaction was his family was dead and all that. And then Bruce Wayne takes him in. But as soon as he gets dropped off by Commissioner Gordon, and as soon as he leaves, he decides to go and leaves. And I like how with Bruce Wayne, how he tricks him, into staying. Because he shows him all these motorcycles that he has, and it's like, oh, if someone can fix them, they can have one as a fee. And then Alfred comes in with this tray of food, and it's like, oh, so you won't be saying, well, I'll just go and give this to the dog, and it's like, oh, hey, Al, wait up. So I thought that was kind of I got a chuckle out of. And Michael Gough once again was good as Alfred. I still say he's still the best Alfred. I mean, I like Michael Caine as an actor though, but I still prefer this Alfred here. And Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon as well. So like, basically, it's like the only Michael Gough and Pat Hingle. They're like the only two original cast members from Tim Burton's first two films. So they both once again come back in the sequel for Batman and Robin. And while this is going on, Two-Face tries to kill trying to kill Batman, and once again, Tommy Lee Jones is doing, being this over the top silliness, acting as Two-Face. He's like, or when he tries to shoot a rocket with. I thought it was a good car chase scene, but he gets a rocket, but he actually shoots one of his own men's cars. He's like, oh, yeah, you can tell by Tommy Lee Jones, he's a serious actor, but it's just seeing him acting all silly and goofy, and just it's like a different tone and take for Tommy Lee Jones to act, and just you watch his performances like in The Fugitive or No Country for Old Men or the dozens of films that he has starred in, but him for this one film he steps like out of the sync for all of his previous like dramatic roles and stuff, and him just being so goofy, silly, craziness, I would say, even practically over the top, just all the sounds that he does, or him just playing his Two-Face. Although I would imagine, what if Billy D. Williams would come back as Harvey Dent, and imagine that he would have played as Two-Face. I mean, even Tim Burton, even though he didn't direct the film. He does stay involved with the film, but he's a producer though. So he helped produce the film, but he didn't direct it though. And I forgot with Joel Schumacher. I thought he's a good director because he's directed some films that I have enjoyed. Phone Booth, I think it's a great film with Colin Farrell. Great film. I love The Lost Boys. Falling Down with Michael Douglas, which I do like. A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey, Samuel Jackson, and Kevin Spacey and Sandra Bullock. That's a good drama. So he can make some good films, but when he went with this, directing these two Batman films, you see some in the opening and then towards the end, and then mostly in the beginning for Batman and Robin. He had this thing with the Batman outfits, where is that it's probably what a lot of people do know about, with the costumes, showing the nipples and the cod pieces and stuff like that, because he thinks that Joel Schumacher is oh, they look like statues from the gods of Greece, those statues. He tries to make them look like that though, but and of course the controversy of those things, I'm like, yeah, if parents complain about the too darkness for Batman Returns, because it's too violent for the kids to see, but for Batman, well, there's a little bit in Batman Forever, but mostly in Batman and Robin, yeah, kids want to see that. Kids want to see the bad nipples and the cod pieces and the rear ends of the costumes. Yeah, that's not gonna have something to say about that either. But and then when there's another, then Jim Carrey as the Riddler, he finds with the Two-Faces his hideout, and Two-Face who has these two women. One's actually Drew Barrymore, one's Debi Mazar. If I remember, Debi Mazar was in the film that I reviewed a long time ago, Beethoven's Second. They're both like sugar and spice. Like one's like a lighter, one's like a nice girl, one's like a mean girl. Hence to what Two-Face's personality split. Like his whole room is split. One's like the good, particularly the light side, one's the evil side. One looks nice, one looks nasty. So Jim Carrey as the Riddler, he comes in and he proposes, that he'll help him put a box in every home in America, to get the brainwaves and help, kill Batman, who is Batman. So they come together and they start doing some robberies and stuff, and which you see. And of course, there's one point where you see Chris O'Donnell as Robin, like he's doing his laundry. Okay, this is one more of the silliness that I don't care for, is when he's doing his laundry and Alfred's there sitting there watching, ironing, and he just watches, as Robin, puts his laundry on the clothesline, like he's doing all this maneuvers, to put his laundry, oh, look, my socks, or his shirt, let all the water out, and then put all this, like I'm a warrior and this and that. I just, that scene, that's some of the silliness I don't care for. Yeah, how he puts away his laundry, yeah. And then another thing leads to another is that, back with Nicole Kidman's character, she's still obsessed with Batman, but the more she's talking with Bruce Wayne, she's now kind of fallen out of love for Batman, so, of course, the next instance where she's, in bed, of course you can tell, indicating, she's naked underneath, though, but because she covered herself up, and then she sees Batman, and she tells like, "Oh, I think I've met another guy," because I've fallen out of love for you because I met another guy. And then as Batman walks away, he smiles. So, because now he'll be with more Bruce Wayne now, and because of this, he decides to quit Batman so he can be more with Nicole Kidman. And of course, another thing I forgot to mention, one that I thought was kind of a fun scene where Crystal Dawn, he stumbles into the Batcave because he wants to know what's behind this door, and Alfred's there standing waiting for him, and then he goes and takes the Batmobile. Now the look of the Batmobile, I think it's a cool looking design though, but I still prefer the original look for Tim Burton's Batman. I still prefer the original look of the Batmobile, although this Batmobile is kind of a cool looking design though, but the Batmobile and Batman Returns, the original Batmobile look is still better. So he goes and takes it out for a spin. He tries to get into a fight with this gang that's like this neon paint, bright colors, and because he wants to he tries to get into fights because he's been thinking of killing Two-Face, and he says that even if you do kill Harvey Dent, what happens then? You'll be alone, just like me. Or you're looking after killing Harvey Dent, you're just looking for a new face to fight, and another one, and another one. And that way you'll have revenge all the time, and your pain won't go away then. So, yeah, I forgot to mention about that part. But that was a nice scene where he takes the Batmobile. Or one of the things where when Alfred informs Bruce he's taking the Batmobile, he's like, the other car. The Jaguar? No, the other car. And then one of those what this party for this celebration where for Edward Nygma has all of he's a big hit selling all these boxes, and then he tells Bruce Wayne, "Oh, why don't you try this?" When still telling but the manipulation. But Bruce Wayne does go in this booth and does try it. And then Two-Face comes in. Then he suits up as Batman. He comes in and gets into fights more with the guys. Then Two-Face, they both goes and tries to set a trap for him, putting this down this tube and did it to a dead end and sets with this gas, set it on fire, and then Batman shields himself underneath his cape. And then with the things he got him, and then Tommy Lee Jones why can't you just die? And buries him, but Robin comes in and saves him from it. But then Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, they find out who Batman is from Bruce, because it's Bruce Wayne, because he had the thing that he had from the booth, because it shows an image of a bat. It's who riddle me this? Who has bats on the brain? So yeah, and plus it was nice to see. I thought it was kind of fun to see what Jim Carrey working with Tommy Lee Jones, especially Tommy Lee Jones and his out of sync tone of acting. And actually looking up that, according because I'm looking up more on the trivia, that Jim Carrey didn't get along with Tommy Lee Jones really enough, and said that Jim Carrey said that he told Tommy that said that he hated him and his films. I mean, if a person has their own opinion, though, and so they didn't get along, but I thought the two of them were having fun together on screen, though, but what can you do about it? But I thought the two of them, they worked together on have some fun with each other as two villains working together, but this is me though, but then they find out where Bruce Wayne is, and then they go to his house Halloween night. They knock out Alfred, and then him and his Two-Face's men, they start fighting with them. Right before Bruce tells Nicole Kidman about what happened when he was a kid. His parents were murdered, and when he fell through, he saw this bat coming flying towards him. And then when he gets into the fight, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler, he finds the Bat Cave. He uses these little explosives that look like green bats, and this is where you get some of the goofs, like the goofy stuff. Like he has these silly sound effects, and as he's throwing some of the bombs, he blows up some of the computers, the bat suits, and blows up the Batmobile. And Tommy Jones, he's flipping his coin. When he finally gets to the one that's one messed up on one side, he shoots Bruce Wayne, and then they kidnap Nicole Kidman. And then the Riddler leaves him another riddle, and he then shows what Bruce and Alfred all the riddles together, and they come together. The answer is Edward Nygma overall. And again, another fun line where Jim Carrey's like, he has this jacket that lights up. He's like, "You like it? It helps me keep me safe when I'm jogging." And then, but then he gets into this new bat suit, and of course it shows with the nipples and the ass pieces and the copies or whatever. It's just how well if Joel Schumacher says, though, they look like Greek statues. And of course, you're gonna get more of that in Batman and Robin. And then Robin, he gets his suit, and that kind of looks like a newer Robin suit. So they both he takes the bat boat, and while Bruce gets the Batwing, fly to the bad guy's hideout, and then you get it with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey playing a little game of Battleship. I thought that was kind of a silly yet fun scene. Like I said, I do like the film because in retrospect, because I grew up with the film, but it's definitely a huge step down from Tim Burton's first two films. Definitely, if you watch this film, you can definitely see it's definitely a huge step down. So one at least they managed to get onto the place, and while Robin gets into this fist fight with Two-Face, he looks like he's hanging off, but he saves him. He's like, I'd rather see you in jail, but he gets captured, and then one at least another, Batman's talking with the Riddler, and Two-Face is there, riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat? And it shows them Nicole Kidman and Robin. They're both one each tube, and he has to save one of them. And before that, Batman has a riddle for him. It's like, I see without seeing, but to me, darkness is clear as day. What am I? Please, you're as blind as a bat. Exactly. Yes, he throws this kind of looks like a bat boomerang though, but it's not though. But he throws it, just breaks the machine up above, and like all the thing that he, like the brainwaves that he sucked in goes out of him. He says bummer, and then drops them both. Batman saves both of them. Then Two-Face is like, he's about to shoot them, but Batman reminds him of his coin, and as he flips it, Batman throws these whole bunch of coins that looks like his, and Two-Face he loses balance trying to find his coin, so he falls down into this pit where earlier there was this ceiling of spikes that was going to fall on him, but on Batman though, but that breaks off. So he falls to his death into that pit down there. And, of course, as he sees his hand and sinks down the water, his coin happens to fall on his hand. And actually, after kind of watching that, I kind of figured, I think Robin didn't much to do. I mean, I liked him. I do like Chris O'Donnell in this film, though, but, with the character development of him, with the death of his family, he's bent on revenge and killing Two-Face. But ultimately, he didn't get to kill Two-Face, he gets suited up, but then he gets up getting captured by Two-Face, and then Batman saves him, and then Batman technically, basically killed him, basically with his coins. So Robin didn't do much, because he gets captured and he gets saved. He's bent on revenge, but he can, whatever. It's the film is well, it's not over the top though. The fourth one is though, but it's it's getting towards set on the goofier side and much the lighter tone, especially with all the bright colors. This film is definitely a huge step down from definitely compared to this. I mean, if you look at this comparing to the two covers, you can tell which one's a lighter tone, which one's a much more darker tone. If you can see it through the glare right there. But so after all that, Riddler he's put in he's put into Arkham Asylum, which I think is the first time you see Arkham Asylum, and guess Batman did something to him where he made him forget that Bruce Wayne is Batman. He makes saying, "Oh, I'm Batman!" Ah! Makes him think that he's now crazy. So he must have just because what Jim Carrey we saw before, he saw the bat coming towards him that from Bruce Wayne's vision. But although, like I said, I would like to see Robin Williams would have played as the Riddler, though. But of course, for what happened, what happened with the first one, like I said, he was being used as bait, for Jack Nicholson as to play the Joker, and I explained all that in the first review of it, though. But I would like to see that Robin Williams would have played as the Riddler. And plus, like I said, Tim Burton coming back to direct and Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. Who knows? But sadly, that's never happened. That's not gonna happen though. That didn't happen. And I'd like to see what Billy D. Williams would have played as Two-Face. But and that's the end of the movie. It ends with Batman and Robin run towards away from the bat signal. And now that's then done with a score by Elliot Gough. I think it's an okay score though, but that's another thing. The film is the whole entire film is a big step down from Batman Returns, and so is the score. Danny Elfman's score, Elliot Gough's score is alright, but it's nowhere near Danny Elfman's score, especially for the first Batman. Like his Danny Elfman's score for the first Batman is way up here. Elliot Gough's score for this film is way down here. Even for Danny Elfman's score on the Batman Returns, it's still like right here, slightly below the first film though. But the second film for Danny Elfman's score right here, but Elliot Gough's score is way down here. It's nowhere near as good as Danny Elfman's score for both films. Nowhere near as good though. But although I do like some of the songs from the soundtrack though, for the music, especially if anyone knows the Batman Forever, everyone knows the song. "Kissed by a Rose" by Seal, which I do like that though. And there was another film, the other song that I do like. "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me" by U2. That's another good song I like from the soundtrack. But of course, everyone automatically knows. Oh, "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. It's a good song. I do like that song. Ba da 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 ba da da. "Kiss from a rose on the bay." Ooh, But I do like some of the songs from the soundtrack, especially the "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me," and of course, "Kissed by a Rose" from Seal. And of course, speaking with Seal, that this is also all these films are 2 discs. So, but for this one, it has a commentary with director Joel Schumacher. Additional scenes, Riddle Me This, Why is Batman Forever, how a new director and cast will create a new vision of Gotham's classic good and bad guys, Shadows of the Bat, Cinemax Saga of Dark Knight Part 5, Beyond Batman documentary gallery, the Kiss from a Rose music video by Seal, the Beyond Batman documentary gallery, the visual effects Batman Forever, the scoring Forever, the music of Batman Forever, stunts, effects, etc., and then the heroes and villains profile galleries. So, yeah. Overall, I do like the film because in retrospect, because I grew up with the film because I do remember seeing from all the way back in 1995, but also the same fact because I was also watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Now, do I prefer Mighty Morphin Power Rangers more than Batman Forever? I mean, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, it's like it has all like if you watch the film, which I did a review of, it's campy and all the cheesiness of like the Power Rangers show, but well, this one has a much more bigger budget though, and it's that one. It's hard for me to say. But Val Kilmer, I thought he was a decent Batman though, but Michael Keaton is still the best Batman. Val Kilmer, I thought he was a decent Batman. Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face. He's out of sync with all of his films that he has done. It's like the one film that he's like being, silly, goofy, and over the top of his acting. That's like, but since I'm a huge fan of Tommy Lee Jones, I'll let all that slide because I enjoy him as an actor a lot. And plus, growing up, I enjoyed him as Two-Face growing up as well. So all that I can let all that slide. But I know it's not. It's a way over the top performance from as I watch it now. Jim Carrey, I thought he was fun to watch, even though he's being over the top as well. But I still enjoy him as well. Nicole Kidman was there to be, basically most of the film to seduce Batman. But I still like Nicole Kidman. Chris O'Donnell, I like him in this. I thought he was good as Robin, but even though he didn't have much to do in the third act as Robin, but I still liked him in the film though. Even though the silliness with him doing his laundry that was not needed, but I did like how his reaction to his family's death. I did like that because he bought the tragedy of his family's death, and plus the red is the costume he wore was reference to the old Robin costume. But the look of Gotham is still looking. It was a comic book city. Still did. And it did have a much bigger budget to it, so the money was put to good use. I will say that. I would say it's definitely a bigger budget looking Gotham. The score was decent though, but nowhere near as good as Danny Elfman's. Like I said before, I did like some of the songs from the soundtrack, especially "Seal" and the other song that I mentioned. Bigger, battier, and better. USA Today. Better, no. Bigger, yes, because it's a much more bigger budget of film. I do say it for the bigger though, but better, no, not better. Battier, yeah, I would definitely say battier because it's much more crazier and sillier. I would say, if you're referring to that term for battier. But bigger, yes, it's much bigger. Production value wise, better, no, it's not. It's nowhere near as better as the first film or the second film. But villain wise, though, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, I would definitely say is a better villain. Even Danny DeVito as the Penguin is definitely a better villain. Or Jack Nicholson's Joker is definitely a way better villain. So combined, the three villains are definitely much more better villains than these, though. But I still like Jim Carrey. I still like Tommy Lee Jones. So, but yeah, Batman Forever. I still think it's decent still because, like I said, retrospective, I enjoy the film growing up. So growing up, I liked the film a lot. So I will say that just for respect as a for because I grew up because in the '90s was a good time, and it was fun to watch growing up in the '90s, and especially this film which came out during this summer. But yeah, Batman Forever. I'm sure a lot of people do like the film though perhaps for its over the top and lighter tone. But like I said, it's definitely a huge step down. When you watch this film first and also go straight to this film, you can definitely see that the tone and atmosphere has changed big time. From this film being a very dark, even a much more darker sequel, which I did like though, and then automatically a huge turnaround that's being much more lighter and colorful. But yeah, that's my review for Batman Forever. Think of anything else. Nah, not much. But that's it. I'm gonna stop right here. I don't want to go on. Recently, my reviews have been going almost for an hour, so I gotta stop right here because I don't want to go on for another hour for this. But hope you like this review for Batman Forever, my take on it, and then stay tuned for this. Oh boy, I just probably have no words for this one. But I'm sure a lot of people have. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of words to say about this film over the years. So, well, the next review, you're gonna hear my words about it, and I'll save it for this. But this film, decent though. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.